Penguin presents Parent Talk by Wendy Mogel. Read by Wendy Mogel.
To Anne and Leonard Mogel. It was as though she had stepped into a boat and was swept off by a strong current. She did not know what all the words meant, and she could not pronounce a good many of the names. But nobody interrupted to correct her, and she read on and on, steadied by the strongly marked rhythm, drawn forward swiftly from one clanging, sonorous rhyme to another. Dorothy Canfield Fisher, from Understood Betsy, 1916. Author's note. When I was a psychology student in the 1970s, some awful fictions were sold as fact. Schizophrenia was caused by schizophrenogenic, overprotective yet rejecting mothers. Autism by refrigerator mothers. Male homosexuality by weak dads. Helpless to control their overbearing wives. During the same era, the women's movement aimed to banish the concept of biology as destiny. Girls and boys came into the world as equals. What mattered was nurture. Provide girls with blocks and boys with dolls, and the differences would evaporate. While well-intentioned, this approach to protecting rights and allowing for growth and unlimited opportunity was too narrow and didn't withstand scientific scrutiny. Yet the 70s also yielded some awesome truths that hold today. One was the theory of psychological androgyny developed by social psychologist Sandra Bem. Her robust research revealed that girls who exhibited some traits traditionally considered masculine, and boys who displayed some that were considered feminine, were emotionally healthier than children whose range of attitudes and behaviors fell at the extremes of gender norms. Bem found that narrowly defined, restrictive gender roles had a negative effect on individuals and on society as a whole. Bem began a movement that shifted from fixed definitions of gender expression to today's more nuanced understanding of the rich and complex variations of human identity and sexuality. In the late 1980s, I had an experience that helped me deepen my insight into this topic. The parents of 4.5-year-old Ash came to see me about their son's perplexing behavior. His mom said, at least once a day, Ash suddenly turns his head and looks upward with a concerned expression on his face. Then he lifts his arms, bends both elbows, scrunches up his fists, and dashes across the room on his toes. I asked him why he was doing this, and he explained in a matter-of-fact tone. When Cinderella sees the clock is about to chime midnight, she has to gather up the skirts of her ball gown so she can fly over to the pumpkin coach really, really fast. Dr. Mogel, we're worried he's suffering from gender identity disorder. At that time, GID was considered a mental disorder and was much in the news. To determine an appropriate diagnosis and treatment plan, I consulted with 2 senior psychiatrist colleagues who specialized in working with young boys who had this condition. One held a philosophy of rigid rules akin to those employed by gay conversion therapists of today. Tell those parents to immediately purge the boys' room of any dolls and feminine costumes, not to permit any playdates with girls, and that Dad has to start playing sports with him every day. They should also enroll him in at least one Pee-wee team. The other colleague said, "Tell
Sample complete. Ready to continue?